Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 49 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Gage, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a good week. Got to check out our new play with our new tickers feature, which was fun. But for anyone new here, there's 3 pillars of StreamYard that we always talk about each week, and those are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if those 3 things are important to you, StreamYard is the tool for you. And Dan and I do these live streams every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific to make sure that we're using our tool every week, staying in tune with you guys and answering your questions and getting your feedback on how we're doing and how the product is working for you. So first things first, we introduced the ticker. So we're curious how you guys are using it, if you're a fan of it, if you have any feedback for us on it, anything you'd like to see changed or added to it, let us know. It would be great to hear from you. Let's see who's tuning in tonight. Neil, thanks for watching. Neil actually, if I remember correctly, does read-alongs with the New York Times using StreamYard, which is really cool. They sort of like go through the latest articles, which is a cool use case. I think they were using the Facebook Live With feature previously, and then Facebook got rid of it, so they were scrambling for a new solution. I hope it's a good fit for you guys, Neil.
Cool. And no, we don't release a new feature every week, but fairly often.
We do a pretty good job. I'm curious what our average is. I wonder what our average is.
There's changes every week, so we talk about like what we've been working on, what changed, what improvements there's been. Not always necessarily a new feature, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of new features.
Back to you's happy he or she made it. We're glad you made it too. Thanks for tuning in. Rich, thanks for joining us. The gamers here requesting green screen functionality. That's a common request. Vincent, thanks for tuning in. Pete also mentioning that he's interested in the ticker. Adam asks, can the speed be adjusted on the ticker? Right now, no, it's a single set speed, but we'd be curious if you have feedback, if you'd like it faster or slower, or if you're happy as is. That's good to know as well. It adjusts based on the length of the text, right?
Yeah. So it's the type of thing. Well, yeah. So just how it works now is like if it's very short, it'll be a bit slower. If it's longer, it'll be a little bit faster. Not that much faster, but a little bit faster. So yeah, I would be curious from everyone. Like there's a few options. One is I like the speed the way it is. And I'm sure some of you are definitely good with it. I'd be curious, like if everybody wants it faster or everyone wants it slower, we might just like adjust it in general. I don't think we'll make it adjustable. Like we always kind of err on the side of less settings, less features, just less stuff, because ease of use is the most important thing. But yeah, if everyone wants it faster, everyone wants it slower, then we definitely open to it. So let us know.
Absolutely. Michael's saying he'd like to read the comments in the chat section instead of it turning blue when he's hovering over it. Yeah, that's good feedback. We could make it more. I don't think it actually turns blue when you click on it, but I know what you mean. When you hover over it, you can't really read the text. So yeah, we could certainly look at making that more visible. Ross, thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Pete was requesting 1080. Dave, thanks for joining us. Let's see what feedback people have. Charlotte thinks it's a bit too fast. That's good to know. Hey, Doug, thanks for tuning in. Ken's a fan of the speed as is. Looks like we've got some mixed suggestions. Christine, thanks for hanging out with us. One topic we wanted to cover, and we'd be curious, just partly selfishly, because we could like some ideas ourselves, is I know we've got a lot of marketers that use StreamYard, or if not marketers, people that are trying to promote their streams. So we'd be curious what kind of, if you guys are running any promotions or any unique ideas you're doing for the holidays, we'd be curious what you're doing, if there's anything fun you have planned or any ideas that we could use for our own. It would be interesting to hear. We're considering maybe adding like a Santa hat for the duck temporarily, or doing something like that, or maybe making maybe changing the default overlay for a Christmas theme or something. If you have any cool ideas, let us know. Or if you have anything planned for your own shows or businesses, let us know. We're curious to hear them.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if anyone has, just doing like a cool giveaway or any unique ideas we've never really heard of that you could share that other people could learn from, because it's a great time to bond with your audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then Ross Brandt is season 2 of StreamYard Connect, so be sure to tune in to that. It happens every other week, and he goes live on several channels. You can follow him on his LinkedIn page, which is, if you just type in Ross Brandt into LinkedIn, I think he's the first one that pops up. He's also going live to our Twitch channel, which we're not live on our Twitch channel right now, but Ross is broadcasting there when he goes live, and that's, I think I have it here, twitch.tv/StreamYard. We don't have too many followers there, so if you want to support us there, we'd certainly appreciate it. And then he'll also be live on Facebook, so you guys can watch him in there. One thing that came up last week that we actually looked into briefly was people tagging is the more common is more commonly used as the phrasing for it, but Facebook refers to it as mentions. Is people wanting to, when they do the description, being able to tag individuals. So it's not possible for us to do it for individual profiles, but Facebook does allow us to do it for pages. So we'd be curious if it's still a desirable feature for you to be able to tag pages, or if profiles are the main thing that you guys are looking for. Let us know.
Yeah, and then it also seems like Twitter and so I'm not sure if Periscope would allow that. Like we looked at it very briefly, but quite possible we could get something with Periscope. To like mention people on Twitter, and then same thing. I think LinkedIn will work. We'll have to dive in more, but kind of cool. Don't think there's anything for YouTube though.
Bridge is saying he hasn't used the ticker yet, but he's thinking constant speed would be preferred regardless of the text length. Interesting. I think we modeled it mostly off of what television does, right, Dan? That's basically how we made them.
Yeah, but I get the argument for constant as well. Fair enough. It's very subtle. It's not much of a difference.
Ken Wall is saying he'd like an easier way to play longer videos. That is on our roadmap, Ken. We'd like to add a way to basically play any video that's on your hard drive. Looks like Eddie Garrison was asking about that as well. Yeah, we don't have a specific date for you, Eddie, but it is on our roadmap, as we know it's important to people. Jay Nice is a fan of the ticker. Dust Mites is interested in a soundboard. Soundboards are definitely a fun feature to have. Would be an interesting one for us to include. I noticed that BBC actually released a bunch of free sound clips. So that might be a cool resource for people that are looking for sound clips. Also, the one I use very frequently is YouTube has an awesome library of royalty-free music and effects. So that's super useful if you're looking to maybe make an intro video or want to have a sound effect for your stream.
Yeah.
MS Buffy does not want it any slower. Thanks for the feedback.
Fair enough.
GSHL TV asked, when can we expect to see more than 6 people on the panel? So Dan and I, we're not going to be too public about like what's coming next, but we do have really exciting things in the pipeline that we're working on. So I don't have a date for you, but that is something that is on our minds. So I'll say that about that. Charlotte's saying it's a bit distracting when it's so fast. Fair enough. Gadget thinks the duck should change around each holiday. That would be cool. Yeah, it's fun. Could have like a heart next to it for Valentine's Day. We're gonna make a female version of the duck potentially for Valentine's Day. For anyone that's familiar with, can't even think of the type of. Is mallards only the male, or is that the species of the?
No, I think it's just the species, but they look very different, right? Male. And
yeah, female. Like we could be wrong about that. I don't actually know, but yeah. Anyways, the male version has the green head, and the females are brown, so that would be kind of cute for Valentine's Day, I guess.
They're always walking around in pairs too. If you ever see mallard ducks,
yeah,
very commonly, like one male, one female, and no other ducks anywhere nearby. So yeah, perfect for Valentine's Day. But we got Christmas first.
Christmas first. Amos Buffy says, you guys do realize that 6 p.m. Pacific is 0200 in the UK. Yes, we've gotten quite a few complaints about that. Maybe we'll adjust our time for in 2020. We'll see. I don't know. Sunday, it is a convenient time for us, and people do have the replay. But yeah, I can understand. We do try to occasionally, like if we're having like our launch party, for example, was at a more EU friendly time.
Yeah.
Clem sounds like he's not a fan of the ticker. He wants more people. Fair enough, Clem. Thanks for your feedback. People were a big fan of the ticker. Not everyone thinks it's fluff, but I appreciate your directness. Ross says, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the time. Ross's show is Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to check that out. Sounds like Doctor is a fan of the mentions for Facebook pages.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it's just for those. Like, I need to look in a little bit more just to make sure it is just pages, but from what I can tell, you can just mention Facebook pages, unfortunately. Profile seems like the thing you'd really want, but...
Yeah, profiles makes more sense. The times I would have wanted to use it, it would have been profiles, not pages.
Yeah.
GSHL TV says, thank you for the answer. It really needs to be more than 6. Thanks for the feedback. Ken wants the duck to be a turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm not seeing any ideas people have for their individual streams for the holidays. Maybe I missed them.
Maybe everyone's secretive.
Yeah, don't want to let other people know. YouTube's also a fan of the royalty. YouTube. Eddie's also a fan of the royalty-free audio.
I know Facebook is a very good library as well, but as far as I know, you can only use it for Facebook videos.
Yeah, that does make it unfortunate. I'm not actually sure what YouTube's licensing rules are. It might be the same. I'm not actually sure.
I think it might be for anything.
If it is, that's great. Then it's way better than.
Yeah, correct us if we're wrong. I think YouTube's for everything. Facebook's not. It's not super easy to find out. I remember trying to figure it out a while ago.
Back to you says, peace and love, y'all. A bit futile, but I want to see the YT and FB symbol on selected comments smaller. It distracts from seeing the avatar. It's not futile. If it's important to people, we're certainly open to changing it. I'd be curious if you still think, like, we do have 2 themes, right? So I'm curious if you like, so this one, it's obviously quite a bit larger. I'm curious if on both themes you want it smaller, or if it's just the default theme you'd like it smaller, or if maybe you didn't know about the other theme and you actually would be okay with using that one. Let us know.
And also, is it that it's like overwhelming, like it just catches the attention too much, which I especially get for YouTube, and it's bright red, or is it just like the size, like it just cuts out a little portion of the avatar? Because it's like there's just a few different options how we can change something like that.
Reef Girl says the giveaway hashtag generated tool would be super useful. Right now we make the chat guess numbers really clunky. Yeah, I was bigger fans of that than we were anticipating. People really like that giveaway tool. And yeah, it's something we're certainly open to adding. We might, if we did release it, we might do it like outside of StreamYard, where it was just something you could open up in your browser and use, or we might put it in StreamYard. I don't know, but it's not ready quite yet, but we're certainly open to adding it, especially since it seems so important to people. It's March. Scholl says, I got 3 questions for you guys. Have you heard of Ben 10.2? What's your favorite stream? Do you have lots of subs? I've not heard of them. I'm not super familiar with Fortnite or Minecraft, so I don't really have a favorite. And doesn't it say this? Did YouTube get rid of the sub counts? It probably says the sub count. I think we have about 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure though. Michael Daniel says, with the professional account, could I live stream to 5 YouTube channels? Yeah, absolutely. You can live stream wherever you want. So it could be 5 Facebook pages, it could be 2 Facebook pages and 3 YouTube channels. Anywhere you want, you can choose whatever you like. Jennifer says, really could be helpful to tag pages, etc. Okay, so pages are still important to some people. I thought maybe for most it might be profiles or nothing.
Although I am curious about the etc. Does it have to be more than pages? Because it's just pages.
Cobra says, can we move the locations of the overlays and the brand logo? So the logo just goes in the top right, but the overlays allow you to do whatever you like. So you can't really like move them, but you could make an overlay, like you could make multiple overlays and position things wherever you like in the overlay, if that makes sense. So it's like it's transparent 1280 by 720, or just that transparent 16 by 9, and then you can place things anywhere on that transparent frame that you like, and that's how you can sort of control where everything is.
Yes.
Any other recommendations for music creator software? Had Magix, but it's horrible on Windows 10. I'm not a musician, much of a musician, unfortunately, so I'm not super familiar with the tools out there, but other people in chat might be familiar.
Yeah, I got nothing for that either.
Weber Model Railroad says, can I stream 3 webcams on the same scene? I don't know what you mean by the same scene, but obviously you can do it by having guests. So like right now there's 2 cameras on screen and you could have up to six people on screen at once. So if you had multiple webcams, you could join the stream yourself as a guest. And that is something that comes up and something we'd like to make easier for people with multi-cam setups. But right now the only solution would be to join yourself as a guest. Michael says, any word on adding monetization during the setup, please? So it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but it's possible for us to add. It just isn't as straightforward as you would think it would be, but it is on the list of things to add.
Yes. It is definitely not as straightforward as I had hoped. So that's like monetizing YouTube streams for anyone who's wondering exactly what he's referring to there.
Yeah, and right now the current solution for people that are wondering is to you schedule it from StreamYard, go to the link on YouTube, and then there you can configure the monetization stuff. But it is on the list, Michael. I think part of the reason it's a bit harder than you might think is YouTube underwent a ton of changes recently, so that might be why it's more difficult than you might guess. But we haven't looked at that stuff in a while, so maybe they've made some changes. I don't know, but it's certainly possible to add.
I just remember I was expecting like, oh, where's the turn monetization on option or something? It was like all these weird steps and like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something we're looking into.
Michael Daniel says, any more info on if we can choose live chat versus top chat? Did we ever find that out, Dan? I can't recall.
Ooh, that was YouTube, right?
Yeah.
No, we haven't looked at that one. Let me write it down.
We'll have an answer for you next week, Michael. Pizza fan of the comments fading out. Yep, that was another change from last week, a pretty subtle change. Oh, I put this comment up and forgot to answer it. Sorry, Max. How can we see Instagram on SY? So right now, Instagram doesn't have a public API. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, it just means a public way of interfacing with their live video stuff. There are ways to like get around it and do it, but it's against their policy, so we don't do that. But hopefully it changes. If Instagram opens it up, we would certainly love to add it as a destination. So if they ever create a public API, we would certainly add that. Buffy is giving away a limited edition American Horror Story merchandise to the first 500 subscribers. That's awesome. Perfect. Yeah, giveaway stuff is definitely fun, especially like Dan's got a StreamYard sweater. We were thinking of doing something like that at some point, maybe giving away StreamYard sweaters. That'd be cool.
Why not?
YT has channel memberships similar to Patreon, and they have Flare. Is it possible for their Flare to show up when their comment is highlighted? I'm guessing it is possible. I know, I guess one thing we can address is stickers. YouTube stickers don't show up, and we need to add that. And stickers are certainly possible to add. Memberships you would know better than I do, Dan. Do you recall ever seeing anything for that?
I'd have to look again. Nothing comes to mind immediately.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not there.
We have to look, Bridge, but it seems like the type of thing we would have access to. And if we don't have access now, it seems like the type of thing that YouTube would likely add at some point. So we'll check.
Yeah, I'd be curious how many people have run into issues. Like the stickers is a pretty new thing, right? So I'm not sure, actually, I'm not even sure how many people have access to it. It could be the type of thing not that many people have access to yet. Or maybe they just rolled it out generally. But I would be curious, has anyone run into issues where like you get a paid sticker, like a super chat or a super sticker that doesn't show up on StreamYard? Is that a problem for anyone yet?
Oh, it is a problem. People don't see the stickers.
No, I just meant like how many people have run into that one?
Oh, how many people have run into it?
Rolled out and
right. I gotcha.
I know that some people have definitely run into it.
Yeah. I think not that many people have super chat access in general, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't actually know if every single person that has access to super chat gets the stickers. I think they do. I'm not 100% sure. Eddie says, almost certain that YouTube's royalty-free audio is free to use anywhere. That's awesome. It's a good move on their part as well, because I mean, I know which one I'm going to be using if one's allowed to be used everywhere and one isn't.
Yeah.
Most people just agreeing on the licensing. Cobra says, can you set chat to auto scroll on screen based on checkbox type option? No, but there have been some requests to just have like a permanent chat box on screen, which we're certainly open to adding. Tana, thanks for tuning in. Eddie recommending Adobe Audition for the music platform.
Man, they've got a lot of products.
MS Buffy's commenting on the mating habits of ducks. They're not monogamous, apparently. Good to know.
I did not know that. It definitely appears to be, but
to be fair, all ducks look the same to me, so I wouldn't really know.
I've never studied them in detail.
Rich says, please review solo layouts. Many things vanish, like the nameplate. Yes, that's actually done. Actually, no. So for solo, the nameplate doesn't disappear, does it, Dan?
The name disappears when you have a ticker, banner, or comment.
Yeah, but it doesn't disappear for solo layouts. But yes, some things do vanish. And yeah, if you guys have any opinions on that, we'd be curious. But yeah, we chose to remove the names when banners or comments are shown, just so the focus is sort of on what's being displayed. But not everyone agrees with us.
And there's also a setting to just hide them in general.
Yeah.
People just don't want them at all. But yeah, well, like one of the things I guess that we were always stressing, and Gage says it at the start of every episode, like ease of use is our thing, right? Like that's what we focus on. So like, I know like, OBS is an example of a tool that has thousands of features or however many features they have. We're never going to have that many features just because our thing is being easy to use. So we're very careful about adding like any extra settings or stuff. But yeah, if there is an issue, or if you guys like prefer, like a general change in things, like, oh, I really don't like how names are hidden in this case, then if we hear enough about it, then we make changes on that sort of stuff.
USA live stream says, in the chat box, do you think you can have a remove delete option like YT? Yes, we actually do have that. So you can, actually it's just blocking you don't have a delete option. It's just moderation option. Is that right, Dan?
So for Facebook, you can delete or block.
Yeah.
Although it's so specific, right? Because like you can't delete comments from Facebook groups or profiles. Like Facebook doesn't allow that, so we can't do that. But I think Facebook pages you can delete and block people, and then YouTube you can time out or block people. Right. But you can't delete right now, and it's just because YouTube behaves really weird with that. Like it sometimes deletes the comments, sometimes it like says it deleted it, but it didn't. So we just kind of like
we haven't implemented it yet until that's acts more normally. But you can moderate, so you can time people out and you can ban them.
Yeah.
BMax says, how soon before we see 1080 60 FPS support? It's definitely a common request, so that might give you a sense of how important it is to us. But we don't have any dates for you. But we have big things in the pipeline. Let's see. Harks is a fan of the simplicity. Great to hear. George is a fan of the guests sliding up for comments. Yeah, that was another thing we forgot to mention that's changed. If you have more than 2 people on stream, comments would cover the bottom person. So we added an option to shift people up. So it's good to hear that people are enjoying that.
Yeah. It's definitely nice when you got 3 people. It gets me every time. Before, when we had 3 people on here, the couple times we did, as soon as you show a comment, it's just, nice.
Yeah, you feel like you're sort of like cutting the person out of the conversation. It's not a great feeling. Yeah. Bonnie says, I would like it if the band stayed with the ticker. So I guess Bonnie just means the branding.
I think the name tag. No?
You think the name tag? I thought like the band. I thought my interpretation was like the theme color that we have on this comment would somehow be part of the ticker.
I thought by band she meant name tag, but
I could be 100% wrong. I'm not sure.
Let us know why.
Yeah. Dust Mites is a fan of the new additions. Green screen would be awesome, says USA Live TV. Yes, that's another very popular request. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any final questions or any topics you want us to cover, let us know. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap things up pretty soon here and let you guys get back to your Sunday evening. Hope everyone's having a great holiday season. It's exciting that 2020 is rapidly approaching.
Yeah.
It's pretty much StreamYard is pretty much only just about 1 year old. So 2019 has sort of been our only year. So it'll be cool to sort of enter a new year.
Yeah.
Charlotte says, please answer question about YouTube descriptions not popping in on scheduled broadcast. So YouTube descriptions are set when you create and schedule the broadcast, Charlotte. I know that they are a bit buggy when you edit them, and it's something we need to look into. I'm not sure if it's something on our end or YouTube's. I think it's on YouTube's, but I'm not 100% sure, and we will do our best to address it.
Yeah, remember, didn't we have some issues where people were setting YouTube descriptions and it wouldn't show up on YouTube for quite a while, basically?
Yeah, I don't think that's what Charlotte's referring to, though. Like, I've seen it. It's random, so which makes me think it's something with YouTube, where when you edit it, it will just disappear on YouTube, but not the other platforms, but on YouTube it will be gone. Oh, Charlotte says no, they don't show up at all. We'll test things out, Charlotte. They definitely show up. I mean, ours I think has a description, but I can check.
Interesting. YouTube's definitely making a lot of changes. So it is.
Yeah, the new studio is great. It's very impressive to me how much when you're at that size, how much they're able to change without there being too many issues is impressive.
Yeah. No, there's some big changes on YouTube's end. That doesn't mean it's not us, but yeah, we haven't changed anything with that for quite a while, so I would lean towards it being a YouTube thing. Especially if the other ones don't have issues. The other, like Facebook and stuff, doesn't have issues.
BMAX says, any plans to enable Streamlabs integration, namely the super chat alert box that pops up? It's possible. We're certainly open to it. Not too many people actually request Streamlabs integration. We might err on the side of adding things ourselves versus Streamlabs, but it's certainly something we're open to. Gabby's, I go live for podcast / brand awareness to give the audience the chance to participate. Then I strip out the audio to create the podcast. I'm guessing Gabby was asking about podcasting, but yeah, especially now we have the recording feature on StreamYard. So if you're on one of the paid plans after the stream's over, you have the option to download the MP4 file, which is the full video and audio, or just the audio, which I'm a big fan of. And it's cool to see people that are able to strip out the audio and just repurpose it for a podcast right away, which is exciting. How about Chromakeying? Again, that's the green screen one. It's a very 1080 green screen are requested all the time, and they're on the roadmap. Pete says my lighting's very good. That's great to hear. All right, I think we've covered most of the topics here. I'll just do one last glance. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. We love hanging out with you guys, and we really appreciate you guys participating and asking us questions, and makes it fun to do these town halls. This was episode number 49 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall, and we will be back next week, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Perfect. Maybe it'll be a special holiday show.
Oh yeah, we gotta have a holiday special.
See you, everyone.